Methylene blue. Looks like windshield wiper fluid, acts like a nootropic espresso shot for your brain's energy factory. Originally used to dye fabric and treat malaria, now biohackers are chugging this sci-fi blue dye in hopes of unlocking their inner Einstein, or at least feeling slightly more focused. Here's what methylene blue is supposed to do: improve memory, increase alertness, create more energy, and even possibly protect your brain from aging and oxidative stress. It's also being studied for things like mood, cognitive decline, and even post-stroke recovery. Why? Because in low doses, methylene blue acts as an electron cycler, helping your mitochondria produce ATP more efficiently. In simple terms, your brain runs on energy, and methylene blue might help it run smoother. But what does the science say? In animals, it's promising. Methylene blue has been shown to improve memory, speed up learning, and enhance overall cognitive performance under stress. In humans, it's still early, and research is extremely limited. A few small studies show mild improvements in memory and attention, but we're talking about sample sizes you could fit in a group chat. Now for the sketchy part. At high doses, it can be toxic. Combine it with SSRIs or antidepressants, and you risk serotonin syndrome, which can be life-threatening. Also, it stains your mouth blue and might turn your pee green. So there's that. Is it interesting? Yes. Is it proven? Not even close. You're basically running your brain through a chemistry experiment. NAD+, short for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, which sounds like something you should smoke or otherwise might give you cancer. But here's the deal. Your cells need NAD+ to survive. It helps with energy production, DNA repair, and metabolism. Basically the boring background stuff that keeps you alive and functioning. As you age, NAD+ levels drop, so naturally we invented pills to bring it back. The two most popular? NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide, and NR, nicotinamide riboside. Both are NAD+ precursors, which means they're supposed to help your body make more of it. Taking actual NAD+ orally doesn't work. Your body can't absorb it properly. That's why NMN and NR exist. They're designed to be converted into NAD+ inside your cells. Some people still insist on using straight NAD+, and since it's no good when consumed, they get it through IV infusions or injections. It's expensive. It's experimental. And sometimes it gives people what they call the NAD burn, which is about as pleasant as it sounds. Supporters claim benefits of NAD+ include more energy, slower aging, better focus, enhanced cellular repair, and even improved skin and sleep. Sounds amazing. But here's where it gets murky. Animal studies are strong. In mice, boosting NAD+ has been found to extend lifespan, improve muscle function, and in some cases, even reverse age-related decline. In humans, it's trickier. Some studies show increased NAD+ levels in blood, which is promising, but translating that into real, measurable benefits is still unclear. There's also a legal gray zone. In 2022, the FDA tried to block NMN from being sold as a supplement, claiming it's now being studied as a drug, which naturally made people want it more. So where does that leave us? If you believe the hype, NAD+ is the key to living longer, thinking clearer, and aging backwards. If you believe the research, it's a very expensive way to trick yourself into thinking you're sharper than you were yesterday. L-theanine plus caffeine. This one sounds like a Reddit productivity hack, and it kind of is. L-theanine and caffeine are often sold together in one pill, one powder, or one overpriced energy drink. The idea? It's a balance. Caffeine gives you energy. Theanine keeps it from turning into anxiety. L-theanine is an amino acid found in green tea. On its own, it can make you feel more grounded, more alert, and slightly less like throwing your phone out the window. When combined with caffeine, it's supposed to help you stay focused without the jitters or crash that usually follows a strong cup of coffee. Some people use it to study, Others swear by it for writing, coding, meetings, or anything that involves pretending to be a high-functioning adult. So what does the science say? This one actually holds up. Several human studies show that L-theanine and caffeine together can improve attention, reaction time, and task switching, especially when taken in the right ratio. Most research points to 200 milligrams of L-theanine with about 100 milligrams of caffeine as the sweet spot. The effects are subtle, not life-changing. You'll just feel slightly more capable of finishing your to-do list before spiraling back into distraction. Creatine. Most people think creatine is just for building muscle. It's the go-to supplement for guys who grunt through squats and drink protein shakes the size of toddlers. But it's not just about gains anymore. It's quietly becoming one of the most talked about brain supplements on the market. Creatine is a naturally occurring compound found throughout your muscles and brain. It helps your cells produce quick energy, especially during high-intensity activity. That's why it's one of the most studied and effective supplements for physical performance. But here's the surprise. There's growing evidence that it might help with mental performance too. Studies suggest it could support short-term memory, reaction time, and cognitive function, especially under stress or sleep deprivation. Some researchers think it might even help with depression and brain fog, especially in people with normally low baseline creatine levels. There's one important detail though. Research indicates that brain benefits are most noticeable in people who are deficient, like vegetarians, vegans, or older adults. If your diet already includes a lot of meat, the cognitive boost might not be that obvious. Still, for something that costs less than a fancy coffee and has decades of safety data, it's one of the rare supplements that actually earns its hype. It probably won't boost your IQ, but it might help your brain keep pace when everything around you feels like chaos. Collagen. Collagen is the protein that holds you together, literally. It's the scaffolding for your skin, joints, tendons, bones, and even the lining of your gut. Your body makes it naturally, but production drops with age, sun exposure, stress, sugar, and, let's be honest, anything fun. Enter collagen supplements. Now in powders, capsules, gummies, coffees, creams, and lotions, all claiming to smooth your skin, ease your joints, and maybe even reverse time itself. About that claim. When you consume collagen, your body doesn't absorb it whole. It breaks it down into amino acids and peptides, just like any other protein. But some researchers think those peptides may act like little messengers, signaling your body to make more collagen, or at least help patch things up where it's needed. A few small studies back this up. They found that collagen peptides may indeed help improve skin elasticity, reduce wrinkles, and ease joint discomfort, especially in older adults or those with mild osteoarthritis. Early research also hints at benefits for gut health and workout recovery, but nothing earth-shattering yet. Safety-wise, most people tolerate it well. That said, make sure you read the label carefully, especially if you're allergic to fish, eggs, or bovine products. Not all supplements come from the same source. So, is collagen a miracle cure or just another overhyped powder? Probably somewhere in between. It won't rewind the mileage, but if your knees sound like bubble wrap or your skin's lost some bounce, it might give your body a gentle nudge in the right direction. Glutathione. Often called the master antioxidant, glutathione is a compound your body makes to defend against cellular damage, detox junk from your system, and keep your immune system on its feet. It's produced in the liver and used everywhere in the body, protecting your brain from free radicals, helping your cells run properly, and holding the line against daily wear and tear. But it just so happens that glutathione levels naturally decline with age, stress, pollution, lack of sleep, and generally being alive in 2025. Cue the rise of supplements, IV drips, and skincare serums, all promising to replenish your supply. One small hitch. Taking glutathione by mouth doesn't work so well. Most oral glutathione gets broken down in your gut before it can do anything useful. That's why some people go for IV drips or liposomal forms, where it's wrapped in fat for better absorption, though the research on both is still lagging behind. Early studies show potential benefits like improved insulin sensitivity, reduced inflammation, stronger immunity, and even brain support for people with neurodegenerative conditions. But in healthy adults, the evidence isn't especially strong. Your best bet may be helping your body make more of its own through regular exercise, good sleep, and eating sulfur-rich foods like broccoli, garlic, and onions. Not as sexy as a $90 serum, but a lot more proven. As for side effects, they're generally mild. Some people report bloating or cramps at high doses, and rare allergic reactions have happened, mostly with IV use. So, is it worth it? It might be, especially when it comes from a reputable source and in a form your body can actually use. But if you're trying to keep things simple and not break the bank, boosting your body's own production will probably get you most of the way there. Magnesium glycinate. It sounds boring. It is boring. But it might be the reason you're not sleeping, can't focus, and feel like a human stress ball. Magnesium helps power over 300 functions in your body, from calming your nerves to producing energy. But here's the problem. Most people don't get enough. And when they do use supplements, they usually get the wrong kind. There are a dozen forms of magnesium out there. Magnesium oxide? Cheap. Hardly absorbed. Magnesium citrate? Better, but often ends with you sprinting to the bathroom. Magnesium sulfate? That's Epsom salt. Great for soaking your feet. Glycinate, though, is the calm one in the room. It's magnesium bound to the amino acid glycine, which makes it easier for your body to absorb. And unlike the others, it doesn't mess with your stomach. So what's the hype? Fans say it helps them fall asleep faster, feel calmer during the day, and stay more focused without feeling wired. Others say it's eased their migraines, restless legs, and those random mood swings no one likes to admit to. And many swear it's the best thing out there to stop muscle cramps, especially the kind that show up as you get older. The science is pretty solid, at least compared to other trendy supplements. It's one of the few with actual human studies showing improvements in sleep, stress, and attention. It won't turn you into a Zen monk, but if you're chronically deficient, and you probably are, it might be the cheapest fix you didn't know you needed. Colostrum. These days, you'll find bovine colostrum in powders, capsules, and even protein bars, marketed for everything from gut health and immune support to muscle repair and glowing skin. Colostrum is the first milk mammals produce after giving birth, packed with nutrients, antibodies, and growth factors designed to jumpstart a newborn's immune system. It's especially rich in immunoglobulins, lactoferrin, and other compounds believed to strengthen the gut lining, calm inflammation, and help fend off pathogens. Some small studies suggest it might help with digestive issues, improve nutrient absorption, and cut down on upper respiratory infections, especially if you're an athlete, stressed out, or the kind of person who thinks rest days are for pansies. There's also early research into its immune-supporting potential in older adults and other vulnerable groups. But as usual, the studies are small, results are mixed, and your mileage may vary. For most people, it's well tolerated. But if you're allergic to dairy or lactose intolerant, you might not want to test your luck. Also, quality matters. Potency, purity, and sourcing vary widely, so check labels, look for third-party testing, and maybe skip the discount tub that smells like hay. And just in case you're picturing farmers yanking bottles away from baby calves, don't worry, that's not how it goes. Colostrum used in supplements is collected after calves get what they need. And yes, there are regulations to make sure of it. Ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is what people reach for when stress feels constant and sleep feels optional. Technically called Withania somnifera, it's an adaptogen, meaning it's supposed to help your body stay balanced under stress. It's been a staple in Ayurvedic medicine for centuries, and now it's all over supplement shelves, promising to calm you down, help you sleep, and maybe even boost your testosterone. So, does it work? Some human trials show reduced cortisol, improved mood, and better sleep quality, especially in people dealing with ongoing stress. It's not a cure for anxiety or insomnia, but for some users, it helps take the edge off. There's a rumor it might cause cancer, but that's not supported by science. In fact, lab and animal studies suggest it might actually slow tumor growth in certain cancers like breast, colon, and prostate. Nonetheless, there are some safety concerns. In rare cases, ashwagandha has been linked to liver damage, especially with long-term use or in people with pre-existing liver conditions. It can cause drowsiness, nausea, diarrhea, and headaches, and it can interact with medications like sedatives, thyroid hormones, seizure meds, and blood sugar drugs. It has also been found to raise testosterone, which makes it risky for men with hormone-sensitive cancers and potentially unsafe during pregnancy as well. Bottom line, ashwagandha has some decent science behind it, at least when it comes to stress and sleep. But it's not side effect free. If you're on any medications, make sure you talk to your doctor, because even natural supplements can get messy when mixed with the wrong stuff. BPC 157, short for Body Protection Compound 157. BPC 157 is a synthetic peptide derived from a protein found in the stomach. Originally studied for gut healing, it's now sparking interest among elite athletes, physical therapists, and performance experts looking to accelerate recovery, reduce inflammation, and even protect the brain. Experts think it works by upregulating growth factors and promoting angiogenesis, or the formation of new blood vessels, which could explain why it shows up in both tissue repair and gut-related studies. Most of the research so far has been in animals, and the results are impressive. BPC 157 seems to accelerate wound healing, speed up tendon and ligament repair, and reduce damage from ulcers and brain trauma. In rats, it's a wonder drug. In humans, we're still waiting for the science to RSVP. Anecdotally, some users swear by it for joint pain, recovery, and improved digestion. Others say they feel nothing at all. Since it's often used off-label and sometimes sourced from sketchy corners of the internet, consistency and quality are big question marks, and so is what you might actually be putting in your body. There aren't many known side effects, but long-term safety is still a big question mark. And because it's technically not approved for human use in many countries, you won't find it on shelves next to your vitamin C anytime soon. All things considered, BPC 157 shows real potential, but the science is barely out of the gate. If you're thinking about trying it, let us know. We'll watch you closely to see how it goes. Berberine. Berberine is the latest supplement to go viral. It's been called nature's Ozempic and metformin without a prescription, which are bold claims, considering it's just a bright yellow compound pulled from plants. Here's why people are excited. Some small studies suggest berberine can help regulate blood sugar, improve insulin sensitivity, and even lower cholesterol. It works on a cellular level, activating an enzyme called AMPK, which is sometimes described as a metabolic master switch. Users say it helps with weight loss, appetite control, energy levels, and blood sugar spikes after meals. Some early evidence also points to potential benefits for gut health and inflammation. But this isn't your average trendy supplement. Berberine acts more like a pharmaceutical drug than a daily vitamin. It can interact with medications, especially those for blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol. Too much can also cause GI issues like cramps, nausea, or diarrhea. And despite the hype, we're still dealing with limited, short-term human studies. It shows promise, but it's not a miracle pill. If you're thinking about trying it, talk to a doctor first. Not just because it sounds responsible, but because berberine is strong enough to actually do something, which means it might also do something you weren't expecting. Lion's mane. It looks like something growing on the side of a tree stump, but people are putting it in coffee, capsules, smoothies, pretty much anything, in hopes it'll make their brains work better. Lion's mane is a medicinal mushroom used for centuries in traditional Chinese medicine. Today, it's marketed as a natural nootropic, promoted for boosting memory, focus, and long-term brain health. Here's what makes it different from your average supplement. Lion's mane contains compounds believed to stimulate the production of nerve growth factor, a protein that helps your brain grow, repair, and maintain neurons. Animal and cell studies suggest it might aid brain regeneration after injury, and it's currently being explored in Alzheimer's and dementia research. In humans, the evidence is still early, but there are a few small trials showing cognitive improvements in older adults with mild memory problems. So, is it brain fuel or just fungus hype? Right now, there's potential but not much proof. The effects seem to take time and may only be noticeable in people with obvious cognitive decline. Lion's mane is generally considered safe for most people, though some report digestive issues or skin irritation, and if you're allergic to mushrooms, definitely skip it. People love it because it feels ancient, natural, and a little magical, but unless your neurons are in serious trouble, it's probably not going to unlock any hidden powers. That's it for the supplement rundown. If your brain's still hungry, don't worry, there's another video waiting to feed it.